This is just a very quick video to run through what all the tiles mean on Garage Hive. So on lots of screenshots and videos, you've probably seen these tiles floating around. There's a lot of them, and you've probably been curious as to what they actually all mean and how to actually use them on a day-to-day operations. So you see these first sections of tiles here. These are all related to job sheets and the current status of the job sheets in the workshop. So we can see in the system we've got a total of 4 job sheets. We've got 1 job sheet today that hasn't yet been started. We've got 1 job sheet in progress, 1 job sheet complete, none on hold, none awaiting parts, none awaiting authorization, and 1 ready for collection. So you'll notice that the only red tile is the job sheet complete, and that's because there is 1 in there, and that's because when a job sheet has been completed, it requires the service advisor to take action. So you'll see that these red tiles all mean in every circumstance that a service advisor has got to do something. Now this is really useful because if you leave your desk for whatever reason, you get distracted, if you come back to the home screen, have a look at the tiles, you should be prompted on what job you need to do next, or a list of jobs that you need to complete as soon as possible. A great feature with these tiles is that they are also now customizable to individual service advisors. So if you've got multiple service advisors, they may only see the tiles that are related to them. So if you've got service advisors that look after particular customers, from within this screen they can see the jobs that only they need to be concerned about. So what we can also see, moving on to the vehicle inspection tiles, is that we've got 1 vehicle inspection awaiting confirmation. Essentially this just means that a technician's completed some form of inspection. From these tiles here, you can decide if you want to quote on the inspections, and that's when it becomes essentially a VHC. We're probably going to be renaming this terminology soon, but the principle is going to be exactly the same. So once an inspection has become a VHC, then you have these various stages of authorization. So it can just be awaiting action as though no one's actually looked at the estimate. You might delegate the VHC to somebody to price up the parts. It may be someone else's responsibility to do the selling. And if you can't get hold of the customer, then it may just be that the tile, the VHC, is then awaiting authorization. But if we take a look at the schedule and see how this matches up to what's actually happening on the schedule, you'll notice we've got 1 not started, 1 in progress, 1 complete, and 1 ready for collection. So if we open the schedule, we can see that this is the job sheet that's been completed that requires some additional, requires attention from somebody and requires perhaps some upsell, for example. This job's ready for collection, this one's in progress, and this one's not yet started. So that reflects directly with what we had on the homepage from the tiles. So if we go into this job sheet here, this is going to actually filter all the jobs that are complete, and we could just take a quick look at what the technician's done. They would have a write-up on here, they could have an inspection attached to this. But what I'm essentially going to do is just mark this particular job sheet as ready for collection, because the job's done. Technician's ticked all the lines to say he's completed the job. So if I just change this status to ready, you see it's gone out of here, and that tile's now gone back to green. So we are completely back in control of the job sheets. It went red, telling me I needed to do something. I analysed the job, I performed the action, and now the red tile has gone. Same applies to a VHC. So if I drop down to the VHCs, I can see that this one is awaiting advisor. So it could be that it's just waiting for the salesperson to make the sale. If we open the VHC up, you gather the information that you need to tell the customer. If you wanted to, you could copy the authorized lines to the job sheet, and then you very simply just update the status to complete. Back to the home page, red tile's gone. Same with these estimates. Look, so if I want to say a customer's called up to create a new estimate, they just want a price on something, you create a new estimate. We'll select any vehicle, and we'll just select a customer, and you could just put price on this front tire, for example. If I close this down, you see I've got a red tile. I'm now not going to forget about this estimate, and it will remain red until I've actually done something about it. So again, you open up the estimate. There's the same estimate there I've just created, and then I've got the various statuses here. So let's say I've spoken to the customer. Customer doesn't want the work doing. If I change the status to complete, you'll notice that tile's gone back to green. So the idea behind the tiles is that no matter what action you take, the system will react to what the technicians are doing and what the other advisors are doing, and you're going to receive a red tile when you have something to do. So the red tile should let your team of advisors understand what their next job is. And if they get distracted, which is it's a very common scenario in a garage, and you come back to this screen, you're always going to be able to pick up from where you left. And you're just a very quick overview of what's actually going on in the garage. It ends up becoming a game of chasing the red tiles. So if there are no red tiles, then you're on top of it. If the red tiles are starting to build up, then you're falling behind. So I hope that explains what the purpose behind the red tiles are, how they interact with the schedule, and how other service advisors can create red tiles for other team members. Any questions, please let me know. Thank you.